Welcome to Twin Flames with Josephine Celeste. I'm a psychic, soul doctor and shamanic healer. Today I feel really inspired to speak to you about how do you know you're a twin flame. The first thing that I found by seeing twin flames is that we're all empathic. And the reason for this is because we're looking for that, or we have that connection with our twin flame on multi-dimensional levels as well. And so our empathic nature is quite high. The other thing is that we feel deep down, though some of us wouldn't say it, that we feel special, yeah? And this is because every twin flame that's created, your twin flame pair, is created by the Creator's hand. We are very, very unique. Twin flames can be similar, but not the same. I've never come across two that are exactly the same, as in a pair. So deep down you feel as though, you know, I'm special. And that's a good thing to have, because we are. You know, we're special, we're very unique. You know, what works conventionally doesn't necessarily, I'm talking about health and all sorts of things, doesn't necessarily work for us. Sometimes it does, just depends. So the other thing that I found that is we have a really deep longing that we really, really, like myself, really want to help others, yeah? We really want to make the place a better world. We want to help others get into the best version of themselves. And with helping others, this is a trigger. When you start having that feeling that, oh, I want to do something really to help so-and-so and become a healer, or it doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever it is that your passion. And that's the clue in also how you know what your gifts are. It's your passion. And as that's happening, you're being activated. Your gifts are being activated, yeah? And the more that you have genuine intention and come from the heart, they'll have an incredible impact. And it doesn't matter where you're at. They're the most important thing. Intention is huge in our work and in who we are as people. The other thing is that I found that, we're all stubborn. All of us are stubborn, including myself, and we don't like being told what to do. We usually don't like people that have authority figures, because deep down, as I said, we're unique and we know what's good for us. We have this knowing, but sometimes it's just not quite conscious. So I'm bringing this forward so you do know and you can accept it, yeah? Because, there's what I call the social conditioning, and then there's the way of twin flame that works for us, which is what I'm sharing with you. And most of this has been tried and tested, by the way. It's yes, a lot of it's channeled, or most of it, but the thing is I've walked the talk as well. And oh man, have I ever. So all this information will help you on your journey, So being stubborn is actually a good thing. I mean, look at Steve Jobs, hello. He's transformed the world. So the thing is also that we all have dreams, yeah? We have this inner desire, or we have a dream, and we think, oh, I would love to do blah, 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 blah. Like, I know the milestones of mine. And so it's really important, and this just came to me the other day. I thought, Josephine, these dreams come from somewhere else. I was alone, and I thought, and then I got it. They dropped it. And they said to me, of course. What Spirit does is they get your destiny and then put that thought into your mind as a dream, yeah, or something that you have a little bit of that, be really beautiful to do, whatever it is, Like for me, it's writing and getting into filmmaking later on. And so that's one of them. So because then that helps with new ideas, yeah? So the thing is that the dreams come from somewhere. They're not just here. They actually come from what you're here to fulfill, which is, as I said, your destiny, yeah? And so your guides, your masters, the love grid that's out now, they're all working so hard behind the scenes to put that into your mind. So don't dismiss it. And sometimes it can be very flittering. So just be aware of it and maybe write it down so it becomes real for you, yeah? And for us, love is so important. Yeah, love is, well, for me, I know it's number one. You know, it's really, really important. Loving self, having your partner, of course, you know, just being love. And the other thing is that we're very, very highly sensitive. And the reason for this is it's in our nature, but also it's because we've created everything. So we feel it. It's in us. It's in us because it came out of us. So we're very, very sensitive about, you know, issues about the planet, you know, humanity, you know, equality, you know, all those kind of things. The other thing is that most of us don't fit into society's conditioning, though we've resigned or we had no choice at some point. Like in my earlier years, I didn't know any different, to be honest. And the reason I still was always a bit different, even back in the 70s and 80s and so on, is because something inside me just felt like, oh, that I didn't understand it, but it was limiting. It limits us, yeah? So we don't like that. So, and also we have a creative side that wants to come out. So society's conditioning is all about, well, you guys know what it's about, but it's limiting, yeah? And it's also very creative. We're very creative beings. Now, it's interesting, it just popped up in my head that in Atlantis, the more creative you were, the more revered you were back then. See, and these days, unless you're somebody that's really, you know, it's a little bit different. Though I must say it's coming back a little bit now. People are looking for, you know, a little bit more culture and, you know, going out to museums and that kind of thing. And it's starting slowly to get its reverence back, which it deserves. And we need it to balance ourselves, balance our yin and yang, balance our masculine and feminine, and so on. Also, sometimes we feel like we're a bit crazy. I know this sounds really weird, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced it, and you think, what the hell? You know, it's because we are multidimensional. Sometimes you think, am I bipolar? You know, what is this multi-personality thing? It's simply your soul. Don't stress out about it. Just meditate if you're going through one of those kind of things, those situations or those experiences. But sometimes we feel like, and especially if you get into your head, get out of your head and get back into feeling, because that feeds the craziness, mentally speaking, yeah? So come back to your knowing. You know, get out of that space, switch it somehow to something more positive. Usually it's, and it can also be stuff that's coming up as well. It just depends because it's such a broad spectrum. But just, I want you to know that part of this twin flame journey, everyone that I've known has come across feeling that way, you know, and some of us feel like chucking the towel in. I mean, that's completely normal, but come back to it, yeah, because that's what you're here for. Also, a lot of twin flames already are awakened, like you all have intuition anyway. You're born with it. That's the minimum. And psychic and healing, that's like the basics. So I know that you've all had spiritual experiences. Maybe you've forgotten or you don't want to remember for whatever reason, but we've all had spiritual experiences because we're spiritual. That's what we are. And a lot of it is in what's called the astral realm, which is the next to the physical body. And then what happens in that astral realm, this is just one of them, one of the experiences you can have. The soul goes out, can meet your twin, by the way, or you go into the future and it's your dream state. And then when you're in your physical state and it actually happens, you go, oh, I've been here before, I know it. And that's your deja vu, and you have. Your astral body has actually been there. The other thing is that we could be quite intense. That's because deep down we care, yeah? Like we want this to be right, or, you know, we have a real passion, you know, about a particular issue or a particular thing. We have a very intense nature. Like I have a very intense nature about all my work, seeing, you know, the tribe, and yeah, that's just part of who we are. So I hope that this information has helped you, and this information has been guided and channeled from all the spiritual masters. So any questions that you have or issues or whatever's going on for you, please leave a comment, and thank you for all the beautiful comments. It really means a lot to me, because this work is my life. It's very, very important to me, and of course for the greater good, not just for me personally. I do the one-on-one sessions in person or in Skype. I'm Melbourne based, and I do twin flame readings and shamanic healings. I work with the Akashic records in healing, clearing, whatever it is that you need. You both need. I usually work with both of you, even though your twin's not present. That's fine. The soul usually comes anyway. I do past life work, soul retrieval, raising your frequency, healing traumas, and twin flame union. So the aim is for that, to bring the union together, loving yourself and your soul mission. All the work I do gets to the core of the issues and blocks and transforms to the greatest version of you. Now, even though I'm not with my twin, because I'm a shaman and because I'm so spiritual, I still am able to bring you into union, because that's what you need. That's what you need to bring the union together. Is you come from the spiritual, from the spiritual perspective. So I do have Patreon, so thank you for those who are donating. And you can contact me through email, which is in the description. I've also got my novel, which is on Amazon. And if you see me in person, I've actually got some copies. And I signed one for someone yesterday, like I can personally sign it for you. Or if you'd like one, just let me know. I can do that and we can organise it. I can send it out to you. I'm happy to do that. So it's personally autographed. And I thank you so much for being part of this. And much love to you all. Till next time, I send you all my love.